All right. Do you want me to do the intro thing?
I guess, sure. We don't have Rob knock yourself out.
Yeah, we gotta...
We gotta make do.
Oh no, who's the top?
Oh, this is staying in.
I was thinking that. I was like, oh no, if it's me and David. So no, both bottoms. Okay.
Yeah, well, I would think we're more switches, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best, despite everything.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to a Stasis Pod extra special episode this week, because Rob is otherwise occupied with some stuff. David and I are getting together to do our first episode of the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon podcast.
Well, presumably there are enough of them also, but we're doing an episode.
I bet there are.
But like many random 80s cartoons, this is a thing we could possibly come back to for fun.
I mean, I know it's not one of those things like literary criticisms of X-Men comics that you can literally pay your rent doing, but I'm sure that they're...
Or Gundam podcast. Well, because those ones, like, they're heavily researched.
Yes.
We, in theory, could do that, but we just don't. Well, also, like what normally we're doing Transformers, and there's only so much to research in each episode, unless we're trying to research the nonsense tech that the Decepticons are stealing this episode.
Someday.
I mean, I guess for the last episode, we could have watched some noir movies.
Someday I'm going to get through the 12 episodes, or 12 hours of talking about Madeline Pryor on the Cerebro podcast.
Oh, that's they split it into multiple episodes, I would hope.
Split it into 4 episodes, and
that should be an audiobook.
It's a lot. But also, she deserves it. She deserves everything she is given and everything she takes.
Yes.
So yes, we have decided this week for a special. David and Rob got to talk about the Dungeons & Dragons movie, which I have now seen.
Oh, yay.
And was a lot of fun, and I felt it had exactly the correct amount of totally unnecessary side character backstory for player characters.
Yeah.
But today we are going to talk about an episode of the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. It was one of the rare Sunbow productions that was actually a Saturday morning cartoon. Most of Sunbow's stuff ended up as weekday stuff, but the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon was actually a co-production between TSR and Marvel Productions.
Well, this was before Transformers and stuff, right?
It was a little before Transformers. It ran...
So maybe after this was successful, it's like, let's make a shitload more episodes and do like 5 episodes a week nonsense.
Yeah. It ran on CBS from 1983 through 1985. Technically, it counted as 3 seasons, but it was kind of like 1 13-episode season and then 2 kind of short half seasons.
Oh, well, okay.
So it was a total of 27 episodes.
Oh, that is weird. And
just, you mentioned it is before Transformers, but oh my god, they have the music. It's all... it's
yes.
Exactly that Marvel Productions, all of that incidental background music.
And the voice actors, some of them.
Yes, and the voice actors who were just in everything at the time. So, did you watch this when it was on?
Oh my goodness, yes! I knew very little of Dungeons & Dragons back then, other than this cartoon. Like, I'd heard of, and I'd seen like some mini figures or something, but never got to play it.
Yeah,
so most of D&D I just osmosed through this.
I was not really aware of it as a game so much because I was living kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I'll just say that the environment that I grew up in, at one point my father was actually working on his master's degree when I was a kid, and at one point he brought me this like college style evolution coloring book. Which later, when I was, working at bookstores, I came across similar ones from the same series that were like for college But of course, I didn't super understand when I was a kid, but my parents were like, yeah, don't take that to school. Because it was the rural South. So I grew up in a household that was not likely to be taken over by any satanic panic, but the neighbors, like the rest of the community, yeah, a little bit more. So yeah, I was absolutely allowed to watch this. It's funny because I remember watching it, I remember liking it, but until recently I could not have told you what happened in any particular episode.
Kind of, yeah. The vague stuff is like, oh, there's Dungeon Master, there's Venger, I can name the kids, and other than, like, one episode, which was, like, the episode that was always on, I couldn't remember damn episodes at all.
I did have one episode that was on the, I assume, VHS tape that just, like, my grandmother had taped off a Saturday morning and just had in the break room at work where my mom was working there at the time, though it was my paternal grandmother. But I would go and just watch the tape, and there was like an episode of Get Along Gang, and and there were some Dungeons & Dragons on there. So yeah, I definitely watched it as a kid, was not really aware of the game aspect of things, because I was like probably about 5 years too young for that.
Yeah, I don't think I really even knew about the game until like the late 80s.
Yeah.
Really.
But definitely old enough for Saturday morning cartoons. So yeah, this was a Marvel Productions production, CBS 83 through 85. So it's one of the earlier Marvel Productions, I guess before it was really properly Sunbow. The voice cast, we can start with I'll start with the premise of the show, which, much like back when we discussed my beloved show Kid Video for a Patreon episode, it is a portal fantasy.
It is a classic isekai.
Yes, it's what the kids these days are calling an isekai.
Or in the old days we would call a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Yeah, I think by the time I was
Alice in Wonderland and other stuff
in high school, I was aware of the concept of portal fantasy as something that I was snobby about fantasy novels for using.
Yeah, well, because originally it was like fantasy settings for young girls. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it became fantasy settings for boys.
Yeah.
Because somebody monetized it.
Yeah. So, and much like Kid Video, all of that is set up. I have actually described Kid Video as the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon meets the monkeys. So, the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon sets all that up in the intro. We start off with the kids getting on a roller coaster.
A really awesome looking roller coaster that has never existed.
So the roller coaster goes into a big dragon head that's got Dungeons & Dragons over the top of it, and I really appreciate that it's got the little TM on there. This is an officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons roller coaster. It
feels like it should exist somewhere, and then there's various monsters inside, and then everything goes psychedelic.
And then they go through a portal, and then there's a fairy, and their Subaru Brat turns into... Wait, no, that's Kid Video again. They go through, and there is... You know, would you just say that Dungeon Master is just a little person?
Yeah, it's hard to tell if like he's supposed to be a little person or a gnome.
He's got big, like old Willow vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I could absolutely see him played by Warwick Davis.
Yeah, possibly.
So they get to this world, and a guy old, like, bald, white, long hair and a wizard robe little person. He introduces himself as Dungeon Master and gives them all magical weapons and assigns them classes.
Yes.
As the Dungeon Master might do.
Including classes that aren't really standard Dungeons and Dragons classes?
Yeah, I don't know if, like...
Acrobat and Cavalier.
Second edition had an acrobat, or...
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe it was like a splat book or something. Those two were always just I'd tilt my head at. Once I learned about D&D classes.
So the one with extreme main character vibes gets a bow and is declared to be a ranger. The youngest one is given a club and is declared to be a barbarian. The nerdy one is given a wimple. Yeah,
like standard wizard looking hat. Well, wizard hats usually have brims. His is more of a sock on his head.
And he is the magician. There's a girl who is given an invisibility cloak and declared to be a thief, and there is a boy who is given a shield and declared to be a cavalier, and there is a girl who is given, I know she refers to it as a javelin at some point.
Yeah, but it's like a bow staff.
It's like a bow staff. It's big Donatello vibes.
Yeah.
And is declared to be an acrobat.
And only given a fur bikini.
Yeah. Yes. So that is what the opening credits establishes for everybody.
Fear not, Ranger. Barbarian, magician, thief, cavalier, and acrobat. That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
So, before we get into this specific episode...
The voice actors.
Yes. Dungeon Master. We'll start with Dungeon Master. I kind of wish Rob had been here for this because I feel like this is someone he knows.
What is he, a Canadian movie star?
I don't think he's Canadian, but his first credits were in 1930.
Ooh!
His name is Sidney Miller. He did eventually pass away in the early aughts at the age of 87. So he was actually an old guy when he was doing this.
Oh, geez, he's got 150 credits. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in, like I said, he's got a lot of director credits for just, like, episodes of Get Smart and stuff like that, which is pretty wild. He also...
Wow, so many 30s movies. Oh, my goodness.
He was also in one episode of Small Wonder.
Admittedly, I don't recognize any of these 30s movies. Not that I've seen a lot of 30s movies, but I've seen some.
But yeah, that's why I feel like Rob has probably seen some of these, like, extremely niche movies that
because it seems like maybe like half of his filmography is like the 30s and early 40s.
Get Hep to Love from 1942.
Babes on Broadway.
Yeah, so he was an authentically musicals? Old person when this was made. So he is sort of a little mysterious. He tends to just sort of show up and give them all somewhat cryptic guidance and then disappear. And so he's the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, he bookends the episodes with riddles that are cryptic and yet not. Like, in hindsight, there's like, oh, that one was obvious.
You have the Ranger is Hank. Like I said, big, like, leader character energy, because he's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and he gets a big ol' arrow. Okay, so Hank is played by Willie Ames.
More old-time actors.
Who actually, he's not that old time.
Well, he's not as old, but it's like he was already an established actor when we were small.
Yeah, he was apparently, he was a child actor.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, he was in... Shit.
So he was one of the kids in 8 is Enough in the late 70s. Most notably to me... Now, again, I did not have a fundamentalist upbringing, but I know people who did, and also I worked in bookstores in the late 90s and through to the mid-aughts, especially used bookstores. So I was there for that period when there was that big fundamentalist media push that gave us, like, VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales was, like, the best of that section.
So he was Bible Man.
Oh my god! The Ranger is
Yes!
I never put that together. Admittedly, I've like, not seen an entire episode of Bible Man, but I've seen clips before.
No. So he was Bible Man.
Did not realize.
In 1995 through 2004, according to IMDb. So that's fun. So he's just, your basic, upstanding main character.
Yeah.
That is his role. You have Sheila, who is Katie Lee. She has also been in a whole bunch of stuff. She's just like a very established voice actress. She did some video game stuff somewhat recently. There are a lot of additional voices.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a lot of this cast also.
Oh, she was in Mighty Max for an episode. Yeah. Also, she was Sunny Gummy from Gummy Bears.
Oh.
So, yeah, she, again, had a fairly solid, if not extremely notable, career. And she is your girl character. She's got sort of a short red hair, and she has a cloak of invisibility.
Yeah, that's spunky teen girl energy.
Yes, she's got a bit of that spunky teen girl energy. She is the older sister, and I don't know if you picked up on that, because there is a point where Bobby is very upset about bad things happening to Sheila.
I remember it from the 80s. Yes, they're siblings.
Yes, she is the older sister to Bobby the Barbarian.
Yes, which explains why there's a small child with these, like, late teens.
Yes, that, it's good when they explain that and don't just have them, like, creeping.
Why are we hanging out with a 12-year-old?
He is Teddy Field III. He was in very few things. He was in the Mr. T cartoon.
Oh, so presumably he was an actual child.
Yeah. There's something in the trivia notes on IMDb about him auditioning for the part without his father's consent.
Oh.
And his father was actually one of the show's producers, though.
Well, sure.
Okay, so
Teddy Field II got him
the trivia note is he auditioned for the part of Bobby the Barbarian without his father's knowledge or consent. His father was one of the show's producers, and upon learning about the audition, excused himself from the voice selection process.
Oh.
Also, I really appreciated that the guy playing him in that brief cameo in the live-action movie was just, like, a short, buff guy.
Yeah, well, because they, like, aged them up, and they didn't want to have a small child, so it's like, let's find the buffest short man we can find.
Yes. So then we have Presto the Magician. Presumably Presto is not his real name, but everyone has just decided to call him this in lieu of, like, an actual name.
Presumably his name is, like, Preston.
He is also one who did some child acting roles. So when this was made, he was, like, older teens, early 20s. He was in one episode of Silver Spoons. He was not in a whole lot. And then we have Don Most was...
Ah, yes, Donnie Most.
Was Eric, the Cavalier. So, okay, I had this thing I was thinking, and this is probably just me being difficult or weird. And again, like Kid Video, you had Ash, who was, like, complaining all the time.
Yeah.
And Eric is the character who's complaining all the time, and apparently the, like, censor people said that he had to actually always be wrong. Because you couldn't have the one who was whiny and complaining all the time actually have a valid point.
Which seems really... Well, it's like, okay, the bitchy one, yes, is wrong most of the time. The fact that, like, they series Bibled him must always be wrong feels weird. even as a child, I was like waiting for the episode where like, oh, he's ironically right.
And not for creative purposes, just because like broadcast standards and practices decided that it would be bad to have him be right sometimes. Like, you couldn't have that kind of complexity. I kind of wonder if Marvel Productions moved to syndication a little more because of the amount of that kind of BS&P interference and pushback this show got.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there was a lot more freedom being on syndication. But it may also be that they could shovel out huge piles of episodes and, you know, have it on every day after school. So the thing about that is that I kind of, and I think I mentioned this in the kid video episode, that I couldn't tell from what I saw about the voice actor / face actor for Ash, but I got Jewish vibes from him.
Kinda?
And Eric's voice actor is actually Jewish.
Yeah, he's Ralph from Happy Days.
So I'm kind of side-eyeing these shows having the, like, whiny complainer character be kind of Jewish-coded, but I think part of it is also that Eric is New York-coded.
Yes, he reads his New York coded, which could be Jewish or Italian or something. It's like kids I grew up with, basically.
Yeah. Yes, and that also kind of fits in with the being a whiny, bitchy...
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Pain in the ass. So, that kind of... There's an overlap there that you can't do a whole lot about. But in Eric's cases, can confirm that his voice actor is actually Jewish, but also from New York, so...
He has red hair, or did have red hair before he went white. Was it like, or like tan? I can't remember.
Well, Eric the characters is definitely brown.
Eric is black, yeah.
And Ash's is actually like curly in a very Ashkenazi sort of way. So that's why I was kind of like, what we doing, guys? What we doing? But it's not like they're bad.
You also have Presto there, who's the kid with the glasses.
Yeah, Presto's
he fits
like
the nerdy stereotype.
The nerdy one, so... So yes, that is Eric. He complains a lot, and
he's the best and worst character.
Broadcast standards and practices says he's always got to be wrong. The character who I would say probably gets the least significant role in this episode would be Diana the Acrobat.
Yeah.
Though she does a little more later. There's a point early, like a couple minutes in the episode, where I was like, was she actually in any of these scenes? So far.
Well, it's very much it's a Power Rangers-y thing that sometimes we don't have shit for the second girl to do.
That could be some
depending upon the writers.
But once we get a little later into the episode and everybody's separated, she does as much as everyone else. So that's okay. We did not completely forget about Diana. She is a black girl. She's got, like, natural hair, which is amazing to see in the 80s.
And that short fur bikini.
And she's got a little fur bikini, which is a little scandalous for the fact that she's, like, 15.
Also, I will complain about color palettes a bit. It's like the color palette of most of the show is fine, but her design, she's a black girl.
I can see that. She probably could have used
a dark brown fur bikini. And her lipstick is also a different shade of dark brown.
She could have used some, like, I don't know, pattern fur that made it pop a little bit.
Or lighter or something. Like, except for her hair, in a distance shot, she's just a blur of brown.
I mean, her look is actually just as much barbarian as Bobby's is.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't know where this acrobat comes from, and I'm kind of curious. Like, again, like, is that some first edition
acrobatics is a skill. Is it a job class in some weird version of D&D?
Maybe. Again, maybe it's like some weird first edition. I don't know what edition they were at in 83. I don't know if that was still first edition or...
I think second?
Maybe advanced?
Oh yeah, it might have been advanced. Or at least when they started.
AD&D by then. So the group is rounded out by the one who actually gets to do the least in this episode. The Bobby's tiny unicorn friend, Uni.
Okay, from Googling it, in 5th edition, there's Acrobat, as like a late edition, and creatures that are acrobats. But, like, I don't see it listed, like, before 3.5, which was well after the show.
Yeah, that was a point where people were mostly just thinking of the show as kind of cringe. So, that's interesting. But at least they did eventually put that in there. But yeah, she would be a good design if they could give her a little more, like, color. And
yeah, a little more contrast.
Looking at the DVD cover from the wiki page, she just sort of blends into the background, whereas Sheila's, like, pink top and red hair and purple cloak and...
Well, maybe the color was originally better in the original version, but we have VHS degradation at this point.
Yeah, well, it's on DVD at this point.
Well, yes, but it's like, I'm guessing the masters weren't preserved perfectly, and they weren't touched up on the colors as much as the anal retentiveness of fixing G1 episodes and fucking up the colors in G1 episodes.
Oh no, is this a hot rod situation? Are we having a hot rod situation?
Yeah.
So yes, we've got a little unicorn named Uni. Judging from the episode list, there are episodes that have a lot more to do with unicorns. Also, apparently, Uni is a she. But she is voiced by Frank Welker doing cute little animal voices.
Yes, his weird little animal noises.
As he does, as he is known for. Speaking of Frank Welker, not Frank Welker, but his good counterpart, Peter Cullen. One of the more fun things with the series...
Going back to Diana the Acrobat, she wasn't in anything else.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, at least look at IMDb. It's like nothing. This and like an episode of some TV show from the 80s.
Her actress's name is Tanya Gale Smith, and she was in an episode of The Facts of Life as some extra who didn't actually even get a name. So that was sad. She should have got more stuff.
It's like none of the voice actors in this are bad. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, everybody is...
Or they're just veterans.
Again, it's not like Kid Video where they cast them to be a band first, and the only one who could actually voice act was Cousin Oliver. So yes, the bad guy, very fun thing with this series is the bad guy is evil Peter Cullen. His name is Venger. He's got like this asymmetrical like one horn, and he's got like gray-white skin, and he's wearing
fangs.
He's got like vampire fangs, and he's wearing this like, it's almost like a Japanese sort of robe kind of thing, the way it like... Doesn't it have sort of a thing in the front, and it's... Or maybe I'm thinking Korean.
Or maybe it's... Well, because it's got like... He's got like a mantle and a skirt and this thing down the front that is maybe is part of his hood.
Yeah, it's hard... It doesn't seem like it's just all one piece. It seems like there's a skirt layered to it, which is... Yeah, his design is very cool.
It's simple and really good.
It's very cool, but it's a little hard to describe.
It's like just having that one horn just adds so much to him.
One horn.
Like it's unwritten character. Like he got fucked up once, but he fucks people up.
He doesn't have a broken horn on the other side. He's just got one asymmetrical horn.
I guess. I always figured like it was broken off at some point.
I think he is just he's making a fashion statement.
Well, yes.
He's just got one horn, and he just straight up sounds like evil Peter Cullen.
Yeah, it's not like I can't think of any other incident where Peter Cullen is evil. And
he's fun. Not very often. He was like the evil twin of Kit in a couple episodes of Knight Rider.
He was Carr. I forgot about that.
So he was a couple times. I think eventually by like his Toonami period, he got to where he just wanted to focus on good guys because it, felt more rewarding. But yeah, in the 80s, occasionally, I mean, there was Predator. That doesn't really count.
That's just some noises.
That's more like... It's basically just doing sound effects.
That's... Frank Welker was sick that day.
Yes. Also, I see that Wikipedia does have specific ages for everybody. Oh. So Hank and Eric are 15, Diana and Presto are 14, Sheila is 13, and Bobby is 9.
Everyone feels like they're 2 years younger than I would have thought. But they do have a very anime without looking anime look, so yeah, they're sort of older than they look.
I mean, it doesn't really...
Or younger than they look.
It doesn't really age them up.
I would have figured Hank was like 17.
It doesn't really age them up when they go into the other world, though. I mean, they look like teenagers, so...
Yeah, they still look like teenagers. I just always figured like Hank was 17.
Diana does not need her mom to catch her in that outfit. Also, one last costume note, I would like to point out that Bobby has a helmet with, like, cow horns on it, like, inaccurate Viking style.
I do like that Presto's wizard outfit is green. It's not, like, traditional red or black or something. It's green.
Yeah. It's a green wizard. So, this episode is towards the middle of the first season. Oh,
did we mention Uni?
We did mention Uni.
Okay.
Uni.
Yes.
Because he is Frank Welker. She, apparently. According to Wikipedia. So yes, Uni, she is the group pet, kind of Bobby's a little more than everyone else's, though. There are episodes about her and her people, which I might have to go back and watch. So yes, this episode is towards the middle of the first season, so that means it aired in... Actually, here we go. We got actual air dates. I'm trying to be Rob here. Trying to be the Rob. First aired November 2nd, 1983. So I would have been about 5 years old. Maybe 6.
I don't want to do the math. Written by Buzz Dixon.
Yes, written by our good friend, occasional Twitter. I don't know if he's still on Twitter, because I'm not on Twitter anymore. But his Twitter was fun to follow for just, like, the leftist version of boomer memes. So, that was fun. He seems like a really nice guy. But yeah, he is still around, occasionally writing some books and stuff. I don't know if he's got, like, a formal publisher or he's just doing self-pub. But yeah, favorite of the podcast, Buzz Dixon. So as this episode begins, it is a dark and stormy night. Actually, I guess it's not really night, but it's definitely stormy.
Very.
And Venger is riding his nightmare. He's got this black horse. It flies. It doesn't have wings. Venger has wings. I don't know why Venger has... Venger's... It's a good design, but also it's like, why does he have wings? Why does he only have one horn?
Yeah, it kind of would make more sense for his horse to have the wings. I think he does fly on his own occasionally, but...
Maybe.
Yes. Or maybe, like, he's flying his horse by, like, gripping it really hard. It's like, he just loves that horse and it wants to be there and try and help.
I mean, it's referred to as a nightmare, so I assume that this horse is, like, an actual particular... I'm pretty sure that's
that's the thing. Like,
creature.
Most of the creatures in this are actually from the game.
Yes.
And can be statted out.
In fact, at the very beginning, is it Tiamat that they're fighting when they first get there? And Dungeon Master gives them all their weapons. It's like, here you go, fight that 5-headed dragon that's menacing you.
Yes, the 5-headed woman god dragon.
Yes. So yeah.
Others' form tends to be sexy, but they never show that form in the cartoon.
There aren't a lot of creatures in this episode, but when there are creatures, like there's an episode with a beholder, and it's...
There's hook horrors.
Yes. So it is storming. He is flying his horse up a mountain in the storm, and he has been summoned by Decion. Decion is apparently a servant of Venger's, though, who was tasked with finding a circle of power, which is not a very creative item name honestly. Like, y'all gotta try harder. He's found the circle of power that they have been looking for. It is in a place called the Lost Tower, but they need someone pure of heart to retrieve this. Now, of course, that rules both of them out. So Decion he's a skeleton knight.
Yes, he's a skeleton knight because of Venger.
Yes.
And shit he did in the past.
This sounds like something that they probably got fussed at for by broadcast standards and practices, but he is absolutely a skeleton knight. He's only got, like, one eye that has an eye in it, and the other one's just empty, and he's got, like, not like plate knight armor, just like knight armor that's probably chainmail.
Yeah, layered chainmail and stuff and cloth.
Yes. So he's legit just like a skeleton knight. So he has found the circle of power, but they need someone pure of heart, and they're like, well, we're not pure of heart. And Venger's like, it's okay, I know some kids.
It's okay, I know 5 teenagers with attitude, or 6.
6 teenagers and a small unicorn with attitude, by which I mean purity of heart. I don't know if purity of heart and attitude are, like, really the same thing, though.
No, not really.
So Venger's like, it's okay, I got somebody I can trick into doing this for us.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in seemingly the same storm on a creaky bridge over a chasm.
Yeah. A rope bridge, as you would find in Indiana Jones and many other cartoons.
So our brave heroes are crossing this chasm on this creaky-ass rope bridge in the middle of a storm, and it's going about how you'd expect.
Yes, just screaming unicorn noises and much complaining.
Yes.
And then the weather stops.
Eric is bitching.
Eric is always bitching.
Yes.
The weather stops, and suddenly DM is on the rope bridge right in front of them.
Yep, Dungeon Master is just standing on the rope bridge right in front of them. He's like, hey, there's this lost tower. At one point, Eric refers to him as your shortness, which seems rude. Actually, I'm pretty sure Presto tells him that's rude.
Yeah.
And Dungeon Master says...
I don't remember if there are ever elves or dwarves in this. Presumably are there somewhere, but...
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That feels like something that might be edging too close to, like, getting the Tolkien estate's attention.
Yeah, maybe. Not to mention, like, well, at least, like, in the first edition, like, elf was a class.
Yeah. So,
like, if this was AD&D, that might have changed by then, I think.
They did. I suppose it is worth noting that no one, like, race changed in the process of this portal travel. Everybody's just humans.
Which, looking back, is a good idea. No one was turned into a dwarf.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, Bobby is short and a barbarian, but that's because he's 9 years old.
Yeah.
So yes, he says that there is a place called the Lost Tower nearby, and it has what could be the key to getting them home. Because the big overarching goal is that they would like to go back home, please.
Yes, please. There are crazy skeletons and hook horrors and beholders and mimics and all kinds of nonsense. Can we go home?
This place is fun and all, but it's not as fun as Kid Video's Flip Side, so they would kind of like to just go back home.
Yeah, we don't have a flying van to live in.
No.
We just have the clothes on our backs.
Yes, and one magical item each.
Mm.
So he gives them this cryptic guidance, and then he disappears, and then the bridge breaks.
Yes.
So everybody... Child endangerment. Like, honestly, knowing what I do now about how difficult the network broadcast standards and practices people were to deal with during the 80s, I'm honestly kind of amazed at how much of the show got made at all.
Yes.
But bridge...
Because they're in mortal peril hanging down, and Eric climbs up over all of them.
Yes.
Up the wall.
Actually, I think that's what Presto says is rude, not calling Dungeon Master your shortness, which, again, ableist much. So they get to the top of the bridge, and there's the skeleton knight. Ah!
Yeah, but he's like not mentioned. He just puts his hand on Eric's shoulder, and everyone freaks out.
Everyone assumes that he is attacking them. Presto. So Presto has to do like a rhyme to do magic, but he's not very good at it. And also, a lot of times he just ends up conjuring modern real world stuff. So
he never like gets what he really asks for.
So in this case, he accidentally pulls out the receiver from a telephone. Says it's your mom. It's your mom.
It's your mom.
Which
and then the skeleton's all like, "I do not collect calls," and then Eric's, "I don't think he has a mom."
No, he crushes it in his hand, and Eric says, "I don't think he has a mom." He's got to have a mom. I mean, his mom might be long dead, but he's got to have a mom.
Yeah, yes, long dead because he's been a animated skeleton man for who knows how many centuries.
But no, Dekion says he does not want to fight, and he convinces them he's not there to fight.
Well, after he like no-sells all their other powers, like the Cavalier Shield is nothing to him. The magic missile, he catches it and throws it away,
which is pretty good. So yeah, he I wouldn't say he defeats them, but he defends himself.
No, he's all like, "Hey, guys, I just wanted to ask a question."
Yes, he defends himself impressively and then convinces them that he just wants to talk. So they have a bonfire, which is definitely, like, the best setting for listening to a Skeleton Knight's backstory.
Oh, yeah, this is a really good scene because it's like dark and he's telling it over the stories, and he says he was part of a band of mystic warriors, which Eric thought is a good name for a band.
Yes, long ago, he was part of a group of celestial knights, which I assume is some kind of, like, advanced subclass of knight. Probably. Or cavalier or something. And then an evil wizard cursed him to be a skeleton guy, and the Circle of Power will free him. And they're like, that might be that thing.
Oh, yeah. And he does this by, like using the campfire to cast magic to elucidate his tale.
It's very good. He is a very good storyteller. So he also, at this point, I have realized, is also Frank Welker.
Which I didn't realize until you told me. It's like, the voice sounded familiar, but I just didn't look into it.
It was like one of those voices that you just hear as, one-off characters in a lot of 80s cartoons, but I was like, no, he sounds like specifically G1 Mirage. Not Pete Davidson, but G1 Mirage. I looked that up.
Yes, back when he was a snobby bastard.
Yes. And I looked that up, and sure enough, it was Mr. already on the payroll for this show, Frank Welker.
Hey!
So Dekion is Frank Welker doing the same... Basically, it's like processed a bit, and it's a little different and a little more, it's acted differently. But it's basically his G1 Mirage voice, so you can imagine him sounding like that. But it's nice because like I said, it's processed a bit, but he's not like, there was a knight. And so
no, he's trying to sound like a noble knight that is now a corpse.
He sounds like a guy that, you could run errands for, and he won't backstab you at the end. So he tells them that this Circle of Power, again, which really needs a punchier name, it needs to be like the Circle of Infinite Wisdom or something.
Yeah, something.
But the Circle of Power will free him from his curse, which I will point out when we get to the end does not go the way that I expected to. So that was
well, because what DM pops in to say later is like, oh, I get it.
Well, I'm sorry, but when I like undead creatures. I am big on undead characters. In my experience, when they want you to free them from their curse, what they mean is kill them proper.
Yes, in a normal situation that would be, but this is an 80s cartoon with standards and practices and control.
Yes.
They're not going to break his curse and he's going to turn in a pile of bones.
A grateful pile of bones. He'll be the Grateful Dead. But,
yeah, you might be able to get away with that in an animated movie in the 80s, but not on a TV episode.
But no, we're just saying that will break the curse, and presumably, as a child watching this, you are not familiar enough with zombie or undead lore to just assume that that's going to kill him and he'll appreciate it. Sheila is the first one to be on board with this, because she is nice and trusts people.
And Eric is very much not like, why are we trusting Skull Knight here?
Yes. Eric is not on board, but Hank is, of course, going to take Sheila's side over Eric's, because Sheila is hotter. So, there's not a lot like Hank-Sheila romance going on, but you can definitely see that like, as being like...
If there's a couple in this show, they're it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing ever definitive.
There's not really. So... Sheila, everybody is convinced. He has rolled well on his persuasion check. And they are going to go to this tower. So they approach this tower, and it's, like, crazy tall. It's, like, super tall and thin.
Ridiculously thin.
Yes, and Dekion explains that it is held up by magic, so that's how it can exist, because they're like, that is not a thing that should be possible.
Yeah. This thing's like a mile high and only 10 feet wide. What the fuck?
Yes. So it's got a big padlock on it. So Bobby does what Bobby does and smacks
Bobby
it.
Smash.
Yes, Bobby Smash. So he smashes the padlock, and they open the door, and it's a TARDIS.
Yes, it's bigger on the inside.
So it's bigger on the inside. It's like an actual...
Did feel like, wait, Buzz, were you watching Doctor Who?
I mean, he might have been.
Because it was... directly
that was a time when they were showing... I'm sure that must have been on, like, PBS.
Yep.
I know it was on PBS at night, because when I was a kid, I remember the opening credits music, like, creeping me out. And then at some point, my parents, like, debated which one of them actually watched it at the time. And I was like, it's obviously Dad. Why are you even reading this? Again, with parents, you know, and there were a lot of... I mean, the Satanic Panic was serious business. Like, that last season of Stranger Things was not that big of a exaggeration.
Yeah. Yeah, not really. Oh, that would have been Fifth Doctor era.
But my father apparently used to watch Thundar the Barbarian religiously, so they were not going to be put off by Dungeons and Dragons. So yes, it is bigger on the inside. So they go in, and our skeleton buddy says he's going to wait at some ruins off to the east. So they go in, they're looking around, it's like an actual, almost like a castle inside, and then this sort of a gargoyle statue grabs Sheila's cape. And
yeah, as gargoyles do.
As they do.
I guess.
And she manages to pull away from it, but then, like, a portable hole, like Roger Rabbit style, just
suddenly
opens
the
in the
spot
floor.
shows up.
Yes, the spot shows up. Opens a hole in the floor, and she falls through, and she wakes up, and she's just in, like, nowhere.
A void with some rocks.
There's stars overhead, everything is flat, there's some rocks, I think the ground is a little wet, like, you know, a centimeter of water, and she is alone, and she does not care for this.
Yes, the upside down is no fun.
She doesn't freak out, but she is not happy about this. The rest of them...
Well, she starts to get fearful, which, oh hey, this is a tower of fears.
Yes. So, yeah, so we do, like I said, despite some characters maybe not having a lot to do at the beginning, everybody gets a moment. So they continue on. Now they're trying to figure out where Sheila got off to. Hank goes into a room, and like a crystal wall grows across the opening behind him, separating him out from everybody else.
That was a neat effect. The animation in this is pretty good. It's very Saturday morning cartoon, but good Saturday morning cartoon.
I think Wikipedia said it was mostly done by Toei.
Oh, so. That makes sense. It's got a Lupin feel. Wait, did Toei do Lupin?
No, that was TMS.
Oh, okay. I was just confused. Oh no, Lupin is Toei.
Okay.
Although maybe they shipped it out to Toei. Toei outsources to a lot because they're a big company.
Yeah. That could also be why 3 seasons only got them 27 episodes. The animation's really not bad. But again, the music all the way through extremely G.I. Joe / Transformers background music.
Well, which just means this had it first,
yes.
Although presumably there was something else before.
Yes, this did have it first. Also, that means I have this music on vinyl because I got that record that was put out of all the G1 background music, which is very cool when it gets to the later stuff. The season 3 got really interesting. Anyway, back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, and then they start just to get broke up.
Yeah.
Presto, tries to get something to take down the wall, but it ends up creating a big cloud of pink fog, which separates them further.
Yeah, Presto tries to take on the wall, but then everything gets foggy, and then they walk out of the fog, and Bobby and Diana are in one place, and Presto and Eric are in another place. And honestly, I feel
in
like...
a swamp with trees.
What Presto and Eric are both most afraid of is being alone together.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more than that, but them stuck together is like, oh, I hate you. I hate you too.
Least compatible characters. So, meanwhile, Hank is looking around. He's trying to figure out how to get out of this room he's stuck in. He sees some stairs. The art in this room is really, I don't even know if I can describe it.
Oh, yeah, the backgrounds are cool.
But the backgrounds are outside of fantasy at this point into just, weird art stuff.
Yeah, and he's... as he's going up the stairs, the stairs start vanishing behind him.
Yep, he finds some stairs, starts going up the stairs, and the world starts dissolving behind him, just leaving, a void of stars. So that's not great.
There's some Mario Odyssey. There's one of the Mario games that has, stages like that, where the area you're walking and there's light, there's ground, but outside of that, it's the void of space.
Oof. Yeah, I don't like the void of space being below you. That's not where it goes. So, meanwhile, Eric and Presto are just in sort of a swamp. Eric is being an asshole about things and blaming everything on Presto. And then he gets covered by a random sheet out of nowhere, and he gets donkey ears and a great big old nose, and his voice goes all So
yeah, he starts making some Frank Welkery animal noises a bit.
Yes,
but the sheet in a forest just comes out of nowhere, it's a prankster ghost.
It is.
That turns him slightly donkey. So
then as Presto is having a chance to laugh at him, because he was picking on Presto about saying everybody's laughing at you because you're so useless. And so then this sheet comes and turns Eric into something laughable. So that's pretty good character notes there. And then banshees show up and steal Presto's glasses, which earlier on the bridge he almost loses so that he can have a moment of establishing that he is functionally Velma.
Yeah,
and
of course, he's a cartoon character with glasses, but
yes.
Somehow on the bridge, Sheila below him manages to catch his glasses and they don't just fall into oblivion.
Yes. But now some banshees have shown up and stolen them. I don't know if these are, literally AD&D banshees or if there's some other kind of creature.
Probably. I think they are. I mean...
visually,
they aren't quite what I would think of banshees. Yeah, they're male.
Yeah, they're male, for one. But banshees sort of gives you the idea. They're ghostly and they fly around.
Hovering, screaming. They're not as loud, deafening screaming as banshees should be, but... So
they come and they do 2 things. One of them is steal Presto's glasses, and the other thing is laugh at Eric. So
yes.
They are here to torment them. Meanwhile, Diana and Bobby are in a hall of mirrors. Like a fun house kind of hall of mirrors. One of them calls it out as being like a fun house. Uni stops for a moment and sees a scary monster in the mirror and makes
first Uni
a scared little
sees,
sound.
Uni is walking between two mirrors, reflected in one, not reflected in the second one, freaks out. Then there's a monster.
Yeah.
Which, either like wits or ghosts or specters when they show, or they're sort of zombie-like when they do come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they do come out, it's definitely big zombie vibes. But they come back to see what Uni is so concerned about, and Diana sees herself being extremely old, and Bobby sees himself as a baby, because, again, he's the youngest, and I guess Diana, for her part, relies heavily on her physical abilities, so, probably scared of losing that with age. And then they actually turn into being very old / a baby. And then zombies come out of the mirrors to torment them.
Yes.
So that's pretty scary for 1983 CBS broadcast standards and practices.
Yeah.
Though I will also point out that I'm pretty sure the show is airing alongside a previous special episode, Turbo Teen, which is not nearly so well written as the show.
Yeah, no, that and that's more body horror. That it's not meant to be creepy, but it is.
The writing on this show is definitely significantly better than Turbo Teen.
Yeah.
So Hank gets to a point where the stairs disappear around him, and he falls into a room that is kind of like, not like a treasure room in like a dragon hoard sense, but more in like a museum sense where things are displayed.
It kind of feels like a throne room display area, just without a throne.
Yeah. And there is on sort of a... what's the word?
Spike in the ground?
Like a pipe, like a stalactite almost.
Yeah.
Or stalagmite, whichever one comes from the floor.
Might.
But yes, there's like a big point coming up from the ground, and it's almost like a halo.
Yes.
It's put it on your head.
Big, yeah, it could. It's a little bigger than like halos usually are drawn, but it's definitely smaller than a hula hoop.
Yes.
But it's just this glowing ring thing.
It's the circle of power.
It's a frisbee.
So he is looking at this and he's like, oh, hey, this looks like literally the thing we're looking for. And
well, not that they knew what it was, but it's like, oh, we're looking for a ring of power. Well, this is a glowing ring.
It's called a circle of power.
I don't see Sonic around here. I'm going to take it.
It's called a circle of power. This is a circle and it's glowing in a way which suggests power. So, yeah. But then he hears the sound of all his friends in distress coming from another...
Yes, coming from underneath a sheet over an object, and he pulls it off, and it's an orb that he must ponder!
Oh no! He's gotta ponder the orb!
It's a giant globe-sized crystal ball.
So, yeah, he looks into this big crystal ball, and he sees his friends in trouble. So then he is upset because, again, he's got big leader vibes, and some leader I turned out to be. And he's distressed that, he's failed. He's succeeded at finding the circle, but he's failed his people. He's failed his team that was depending on him to lead them.
Yeah, because apparently his fear, well, other than stairs disappearing behind him, was like, oh, I'm a bad leader.
Hey, man, everyone should be scared of stairs disappearing behind them. That's a bad thing to happen.
The stairs disappearing behind him could be a metaphor for, as they've progressed further and further, they've lost their way in the past, and we cannot turn back now, because it's doom, so we gotta keep going forward.
Yeah, I can see that.
Choice.
It's a metaphor. It's all just a metaphor.
Just creepy stairs.
And then he realizes something that Dungeon Master, one of the cryptic things that Dungeon Master said earlier, was that they were going to need to... I didn't write it down word for word. They need to overcome themselves.
Oh, yeah. It's like overcome something inside them or whatever.
Yes. So he realizes that what they really need to do is fight their own fears, and this is putting them against their fears. Sheila is afraid of being alone. Like I said, Presto is afraid of being helpless without his glasses. Eric is afraid of everybody laughing at him. Bobby is afraid of being too young, and Diana is afraid of, like I said, presumably losing her physical prowess to age. Yeah. I wonder if she's like a gymnast in the real world.
Presumably, like, all their abilities seem like based upon their feet. Like, Sheila is like afraid of being alone, but can hide invisibly. So and that's twisting around that.
Olympic gymnasts were kind of part of the cultural cachet at the time.
80s, yeah.
So yeah, that would. So he can, he can talk to them through this orb, and they all hear him, and he explains that this wants them to be afraid, and they need to overcome it.
Yes, fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death.
Yes, fear is their greatest enemy. So they do. In Presto's case, he manages to pull out an aircraft carrier. Like, scares the banshees off.
But he's actually trying to do that, and it works for once. He just yanks out the USS flag out of his hat.
Yes, just,
and that works.
Magically.
By scaring the banshees, sure.
But yeah, everybody basically just wills themselves to overcome their fears, and everybody is okay. So, also, I like it when Bobby and Diana are fighting against the zombies. Tiny baby Bobby says, "I'll beat you up." Which is exactly right.
Anyway, so they make it out of the tower, and then they walk up to Stonehenge.
Yeah, they get out of the tower, they overcome their fears, and they get the circle, and yeah, they are apparently meeting our skeleton buddy in Stonehenge, but it's like on top of a hill, and it's like the flat top of a hill, and it's Stonehenge.
Well, where else are you going to hang out when you're a skeleton warrior?
Yeah. We should do an episode of that sometime.
Yes.
So they get up there, and Dungeon Master shows up and is like, this guy is hella sketch, right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to explain what this guy told the campfire story. He left some details out.
Yes. Apparently, Decion betrayed the other Celestial Knights, and he says, evil deeds always come full circle, and they never end until...
The circle is broken.
Yes, they never end until the circle is broken. Wink, wink. But yes, then Venger
and then
shows
DM
up
poofs out.
and then DM poofs out as he does. Venger arrives on his nightmare.
But before he poofs out, he says, you have to decide what to do with the ring now. Do you want to help this guy who was a traitor, or do you want to try and get yourself home? I'm not going to explain how the ring works. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how this works. I'm
and
leaving.
Then suddenly Venger is there.
Yes, then Venger flies in on his nightmare. He takes the circle from Decion and, starts shooting beams with it.
He shoots beams anyway. It's hard to tell the difference.
And also he declares that since he seized it himself, took it from Decion, now he doesn't owe him anything. And then he says that he's going to, leave him there with 6 more skeleton warriors to command, and straight up is gonna kill the kids.
Yeah, he starts to turn Hank, and, Hank's face starts to melt.
He briefly starts skeletonizing Hank, and I'm definitely, picturing the notes from editorial on the script.
Yeah, it was very brief. It was, 5 frames, maybe.
Yes, but Decion stands up to Venger.
I feel like in the original version of that, it's Hank did turn into a skeleton. But it's nope, you can't do that.
Yeah, they're okay, Buzz, calm down. It's but it's already skeletons. Why can't we have more skeletons? This fight also kind of feels like BS&P got involved because Decion is shooting lasers from his sword.
Yeah, there's very much, nobody has a bladed weapon.
It really feels like there should have been a physical combat between Decion and Venger, that they were no, you can't have him actually using a sword as a sword, because that's, what do they call it when it's, something that kids can do, imitable?
Imitatable.
Yeah, it's an imitatable thing.
Act. Yeah, because like nobody has a bladed weapon. Like Bobby has a club; it's not an axe.
Yeah. So
even Hank's bow doesn't actually have arrows; it makes magic missiles that shoot.
Magic.
The paladin isn't a paladin; he's a cavalier who only has a shield.
Right.
The thief has no bladed weapon to backstab.
Nope. She is not doing backstabbing. She is just sneaking about and being invisible.
Yeah, and
so they realize, they figure out what Dungeon Master's cryptic message was, and Presto runs to get the circle. Presto gets it, Hank shoots it, which breaks it, and that starts a whirlwind, I guess, of the magic.
Well, also, like, Decion, like, saved, like, got Hank out of the way from being fully skeletonized. Like, he was actually doing a heroic act.
Yes, he did a heroic act, and
helping someone other than himself.
Magically, he gets his skin back.
Yes, because he broke the circle of violence. Yay!
Yay! Venger GTFOs over the course of all of this. The thing he wanted is busted, so he's not hanging around. So Decion gets his skin back. He's a real boy again.
Like when the whirlwind hits him, it's very much like a He-Man effect. Like he has the power.
It is
like he just doesn't raise his sword up and scream.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. But like I said, I was fully expecting it to just put him out of his misery, so I guess this is nicer.
Yes.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. He blows a conch shell and summons a warbird, which is like full-on Gandalf's giant eagle.
Yeah, but which is the eagle immortal, or is there just random eagles that someone has been training out there somewhere for centuries in case a celestial knight comes back?
This is a very good question, because they did say that what happened with his celestial knights was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this bird has just been hanging around in the periphery, just like over a hill waiting, or what's the deal with this warbird? But he absolutely...
Was the bird also a skeleton?
Then you got Death Knight mounts. Man, I love Death Knight so much. This is why I picked this episode out of the available options. One, because it was Buzz Dixon, and also because I was like, skeletal knight, you say?
Oh yeah, I was just skimming through after you decided we were going to do a D&D. It's like, I was picking out like writers we know from Transformers. And it was like skeleton episode, spider episode, and an episode that I saw many times as a child. I vaguely remembered.
I've occasionally, back when I was on Twitter, I asked people if anyone who didn't know could guess what World of Warcraft class I mained, and no one guesses that I played a Death Knight. Everyone's
really?
Like, Druid? I'm like, no.
Do people not know you?
I guess they don't know. See, that's the thing, is because I have, like, these separate aesthetics. I have, like, the retro wave aesthetic, and then I have the Patagonia lesbian aesthetic, and then I have the Death Knight aesthetic.
Elric Melbourne.
Yes.
More cock.
So,
sad,
I love...
undead dude.
Oh, I love sad zombie. I love sad zombies so much. Just absolutely forsaken.
Yeah, you're ever going to be in trouble if there's, like, a undead Loki story.
Oh man, you can't make a god be undead. They're gods. You can find a way though.
Yeah.
So he says, Decion thanks them and says that he will return when he finds their way home, and everyone
just GTFOs.
Yep, and they all, explicitly comment that he was redeemed by his actions, and now he is a celestial knight again. The end. So...
there's also a comment like Eric talking about, what does he say? Like, stupid unicorn under his breath. And they ask him, did you just insult the unicorn? And then, what the fuck? He covers for it. Something about silly uniform or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I should have wrote that down.
I caught that. Oh, Eric. So, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for, like, an 80s cartoon. This is pretty good stuff.
Yes, there's a good lesson in it. It's not as violent as it could be.
It definitely kind of felt like it wanted to be a little more violent, but, you know.
Yeah. But also, it did kind of feel like a basic D&D session. Oh, this skeleton shows up and wants us to do a thing. We're originally sketchy about him, but he turns out to be good in the end. One
of the players decides that their character trusts him, and they all decide to go along with it because, you know, a good D&D session has a little bit of improv.
We're trapped in a dungeon. We're trapped in a dungeon, not so much with monsters, but with our own fears.
Yes, you want to do that. Yes, and yeah, that's good character stuff, man. This show honestly has a lot better character work than a lot of shows at the time.
Yeah.
Again, Turbo Teen was on at the same time, and Turbo Teen was awful.
There is no ongoing story between episodes other than we want to get home.
Yeah, there's just.
But it does manage to convey good character.
Yeah,
and Eric being a dick.
Yes, he's such a jerk. He's so awful. So yeah, that was fun. I might have to watch more of this, especially if it's only 27 episodes. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And they're readily available on YouTube at this point. I have heard that, Roku occasionally has just channels, and there apparently Hasbro's doing a Dungeons and Dragons channel it's going to be on. That's going to include this show along with, various...
bunch of Let's Plays and things.
Yeah, lots of Let's Plays and stuff. So this is a show that Toys of It came out this year.
Yes.
So
this is amazing.
This is a show that they are still, invested in, especially because now they own... this wasn't, I don't know who did the old 80s D&D toys.
Oh.
But, it was Marvel Productions doing the cartoon, but basically the point is Hasbro owns D&D now, so it's their IP and they can do what they want with it. So it's not a huge surprise that they're invested in doing stuff with it, though, there's certainly other IPs that they're not doing anything with.
It would be nice if they actually made a new cartoon.
That would be cool. But I kind of feel they're doing the Critical Role stuff, and I think they're kind of happy at this point. They did the movie, which was excellent.
Mm-hmm. But they're doing a TV series, I think, or some streaming series.
But it does kind of feel like, for the most part, they're happy to let fans produce their own stuff to a certain extent. So, but yeah, that was pretty good show. It's surprisingly good for its time period. Also, Skeleton Knight.
Yeah.
Skeleton Knight.
Yeah, there's not a lot of depth in it, but there's a lot of good character.
Especially what I'm a big sucker for is the Skeleton Knight who's actually good, even if maybe they did some bad things. So I'm there for that. I'm here for this episode. So yeah, anything else to add for this week before we wrap up?
No, hopefully next week we'll be back to normal Stasis Pod. We will have a Patreon episode up at some point, although, 2 big movies came out this month and all 3 of us have seen them, so maybe for once we will do an in theaters now Patreon.
I had to go see movies in the theater and it was a lot.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a toss-up because we could talk about Spider-Verse or Rise of the Beasts real easily.
Yes. So yeah, we will have something exciting coming up for Patreon this month, and we'll have something else coming up for Patreon once more things hit streaming, once the current things hit streaming. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I will go ahead and wrap up. I guess I can say, I don't know how much with these special episodes, how much we do the standard monthly wrap-ups, because I'm not usually here for them. I'm usually the one whose schedule doesn't work out.
I know, it's the basic, we have the basic, we have a Patreon, we have a Twitter, which we don't really use anymore. We have Mastodon now, we have Discord.
Yes,
all the stuff. I
am running the retro.pizza Mastodon server, which is an actual URL that you can use now. That is Iacon Underground at retro.pizza. I post the new episodes there. I'm working on maybe putting a little more news kind of stuff there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah, you can find us there. That's the one that's most active right now. I am also at Trickster at retro.pizza. And like I said, I'm running the server, so feel free to come sign up. If I'm not sleeping, I will approve new signups pretty quickly. So yeah, I guess that is that. And until next week, this has been Jen.
And David.
Good night.
Good.